Recently, I was flagged, it seems by Adonis Paul, for making a good point about him and Fatma'am. So Fatma'am made a video about me. Let's see what Fatma'am has to say about me.
Gods. You know I'm gonna curse YouTube because it always screws up my chat as I scroll it down. Oh, hello.
Remind you, this is the guy that says, I don't respect women, right? This is the guy that harasses a mentally ill woman every day, every hour of the day, okay? This is a guy that tries to convince a mentally ill woman to harm herself. This is a mentally ill woman that tried to convince, this is a man, well, he is a mentally ill woman. He looks like one anyway. But this is a gentleman that tried to convince a mentally ill woman to harass me for $10, okay?
David De Dominici donated $6.90.
Ed and basically serially raped James. Taking your blood pressure and nodding politely while you tested her.
Yeah, that's all she did, right? Yeah, I'll guarantee you this. So he's talking about the nurse, I assume. No, that nurse actually liked me as a person and wanted to meet me in real life. I know what she said to me, she knows what she said to me, and I guarantee you I've spoken to her more than any of you have, which is at all. Okay? None of you have spoken to her, and I know that because everything you say sounds so ridiculously fabricated, it's absurd.
What balls?
Oh, for Jesus.
Rachel Dragonfly donated $2 through Super Chat. Zany face, zany face, zany face.
She dances that way around. Thank you. Hi, Emma. Hopefully people will spank your ass later. David met his chance to chase the train. Leo von Puzel. There's Eliana. She was ignoring him.
It's very hard to get to this. And also, no, Eliana was not ignoring me. I was somebody that Eliana picked to pull an Amber Heard on. That's exactly what happened.
It wasn't her, it was everybody else. And that's the mindset he's going to go back to. He keeps saying, well, if she doesn't want to talk to me, she doesn't have to talk to me. She's not getting food there. Because he keeps thinking, other people are somehow interfering.
It is other people interfering. You don't think that a young woman that says, oh, I want to see you, which is exactly what she told me, and then when I tell her, don't ignore what's online, and she looks up what's online and then doesn't get back to me after she specifically tells me she wants to talk to me, she wants to see me. Oh, I guess you didn't know that because you never spoke to her. Oh. And if you did speak to her, it's because you're stalking her. I'm not stalking her. I'm not trying to make her talk to me. You are. She told you to leave her alone. She didn't tell me to leave her alone. She told you to leave her alone. You said that. If you spoke to her, if it wasn't completely fabricated. Never told me to leave her alone. Never tried to get a PFA against me. Did she? You can pretend that she did, and that's what you try to pretend. No, she never did. I've called the sheriff's office on that. She never tried to do anything to me, never told me to leave her alone. She told you to leave her alone, so leave her alone. You dig? She told you to leave her alone. I've spoken to her more than you did. Leave her alone, Fatma'am. She told you to leave her alone. She told these people to leave her alone. Leave her alone.
People make him look bad. And now, other people are stalking her when...
Yes, when you hunt someone down and contact their place of work and lie about another person to their place of work and try to communicate with somebody and they don't want to communicate with you, as you said, she stated that she did not want to communicate with you, and you continually try to communicate with her, that's stalking. She never told me that she didn't want to talk to me. She actually told me the exact opposite. Okay? She never told me, and she never tried to get a PFA against me like you people claim, but you people never spoke to her. And if you did, you admittedly said, and I'll go back to that, you admittedly said that she wanted you to leave her alone. Never told me to leave her alone. Why don't you leave her alone? Why don't you try and leave her alone? Try it.
No. When the nurse was spoken to, it was with complete consent.
This is what's funny. He thinks he's a redneck, and he thinks that I'm going to believe that he spoke to the nurse. But even if he did speak to the nurse, she said, leave her alone. So leave her alone.
Emma donated $10. James, everyone that rejects you OR is out of your league. You call fat. Stop stalking this new woman. She isn't meeting you at the fair or anywhere. And stop stalking Hat Man. He doesn't want to date you, James. You're never gonna score.
Never gonna score. But yeah, she's got no interest in James in any capacity. Obviously, he wants to be left alone.
She wants to be left alone by you. She told you to leave her alone. Didn't tell me to leave her alone, did she?
This behavior is impacting on her life.
My behavior is impacting on her life, Really? You don't think your behavior, your stalking of her, is impacting on her life? You don't think that's impacting her life as you stalk her? Because that's what you're doing. You're stalking this woman. She told you to leave her alone.
Really?
Might I add, she told you to leave her alone, just like Mary told you to leave her alone. And we all know how that went over. You don't stop harassing Mary. You won't stop harassing her. That's why she's quiet. That's why she's afraid of the situation, and she sees what you people do. And she saw what you people did because I warned her about you people first and foremost so that she didn't get tied into this. And if she doesn't want to get tied into this because of you people, I understand that.
She wants nothing to do with him. Literally nothing to do with him. She won't acknowledge him. She won't say anything back to shut him up. She's basically just effectively dropping off the grid as far as James is concerned. James doesn't know where she is either. He knows where she's not, but he doesn't know where she is. I know he knows where she's not because when he's done his spurg out about contacting the hospital, that's when he found out where she's not.
I never found out anything about the girl. That's what I never found out. So that's the truth. I never asked anything about the girl. And even if I did, say I did ask the hospital if she worked there, the hospital's not going to tell me if she works there or not, if that's what you're implying. And the fact of the matter is, I don't know whether she works there or not. As I just said, I know she wanted to leave the hospital very badly. And I hope she did. I hope she found a better job because that hospital is a real shithole. But the fact of the matter is, pretending like you know things about her is a lie because you don't.
Not there anymore, James. That's because of you. So, okay, basically, follow in your father's footsteps and take some vitamin 38. I recommend a high-velocity train.
This is him telling me to kill myself. Okay? This is him telling me to kill myself. Isn't that wonderful? And no, she's not at that hospital because she didn't want to be at that hospital anymore. That has nothing to do with me. She hated working there. She flat out told me that.
Cranial injection. Best way to administer that. Takes the vitamins directly into the brain. What's the cutest livestock animal? Why, James, you gonna try and fuck that next? I mean, I can see you trying to get with a, cow or a bull. Bit too big for you.
See, this is the thing. His mind always goes to sex.
It's probably reaching a bit. A sheep or a goat. Again, probably reaching a llama. I'm going exotic out there. A chicken or a rooster. Yeah, I can imagine you choking the chicken. A lot. So.
Size dick.
Nice, thank you. So does the girl you were trying to groom. 18 or not, you were trying.
I love this. They're accusing me of trying to groom a woman that's far smarter than they are, smart enough not to talk to them, might I add, Smart enough to tell them to leave her alone, and they're accusing me of trying to groom her. I'm not trying to groom anyone. That's a fact. Okay? That's a fact.
Don't care. Know about privacy. If you ever want to talk, James, my messages are always open. Don't you
The reason you're saying that is because you never spoke to her. If you spoke to her, you'd know more. You don't know shit. You don't know shit. You never did. Just like you threatened under the truthful lie, because we know that's you, that she was getting a restraining order against me. And that she was getting, she never got a restraining order against me. She never will get a restraining order against me. She does not consider me a threat to her in any way. She told you to leave her alone. If you told the truth about speaking to her, which I don't think you did. But if you did, she told you and your little shitheads to leave her alone. That's what she said. Never tried to get a PFA against me. I would know about that. Okay? So, yeah, keep fabricating bullshit. You never spoke to her. You can keep saying that you did, and you can say that you consensually spoke to her. How do you consensually speak to somebody that you have to hunt down? You didn't find her by accident. You would have had to find out my medical records and find out who my nurse was to find her. Okay? That's the only way you would have found her, is by illegally having somebody that works at that hospital, which adds to my suit against the hospital. If indeed they did that, if somebody at that hospital did that, which will add to that hospital being in a shit ton of trouble for what they did to me, and it will be. Okay, that's that's going on. And assuming she did speak to you about me, that will go on there to me suing that hospital. So I don't think she did, and I would never drag her into anything like that unless she really did speak to you of her own free will, which I doubt, because she told you to leave her alone. Pathetic. Now, I think what he means is he means that fat little piggy, that, that fat little piggy from down under.
Fat little piggy who?
So what I said was, who's my love? Does this person mean that piece of ghetto trash that pretended to be my friend? Why would that bother me? Also, as the current young lady, the fact that any of you think that you can convince me that you spoke to her is absolutely hilarious. Plus,
Why to be spurging on Rumble?
she isn't my love. She's just a girl that I find extremely intriguing and wish to share my time with.
Well, that's fine, James. That's also kind of sad because she doesn't want to spend her time with you. And after 4
Well, no, she flat out told me she did want to spend her time with me, which leads me to know that the only reason she's not spending her time with me is because she's afraid of you people. And she told you people to leave me alone. Or not leave me alone. She told you people to leave her alone. You dig? If you spoke to her, you stalked her down, you hunted her down to communicate with her, and she told you to leave her alone, right? She told you to leave her alone, and you didn't leave her alone. If you left her alone, you wouldn't be mentioning her in a video like this, would you? Would you? Okay. She didn't get a PFA against me like you claim. I don't think you spoke to her. You can't prove that you spoke to her. You know nothing about her at all. Okay. You can fabricate all the stories you want. And the fact is, if she doesn't work at that hospital, the reason she doesn't work at that hospital is due to her choosing not to work there because she didn't like working there. That's a fact. So let's go on.
months of failed attempts, you'd think it might have sunk through. Hello.
Don't you love how he keeps cutting to women spanking women and things like this? Because this is where his mind goes, and yet I'm the pervert. Mind you, I'm the pervert.
Emma donated
I'm a pervert for wanting to spend time with a woman that told me that she wanted to spend time with me.
$6.90. James, have you been practicing Hatman's accent because you repeat it back to yourself as you're jacking off pretending it's him? Hatman hasn't even brought you up with.
The only one jacking off to anyone is Hatman jacking off to my nudes that he posed as a 20-year-old Russian woman to get from me because he's a homosexual predator. That's what he is. He is a homosexual predator that poses as women to seduce men. He did this to another gentleman, but, it didn't turn out the same way because he stalks men also because he's a homosexual. He likes to stalk men and pose as a woman to try and get nudes out of them so that he can masturbate to them. We all know it. Everybody he's done this to knows it. In fact, even in Daywave, they were saying that in the comments that a lot of people have ended up sending him nudes because this is the kind of freak he is. He poses as a woman to get nudes from men so that he can masturbate to them because he's a homosexual predator.
So you are the creepiest person alive. Go back to eating oats and ketchup, fat ass.
Harsh. Love it. Thank you, Emma. Nice ass clap.
And I know, unlike that fat little immoral piggy,
you do realize we just literally looked at the picture from Meliana's public Instagram.
So she improved her body composition. She's still an immoral piece of ghetto trash. That's all she is. She's a piece of ghetto trash that targeted me from the beginning. I wish I would have listened to the other men that she did the same thing to, but I didn't because I cared about her, which was my biggest mistake. Biggest mistake in my life was caring about that piece of ghetto trash. Okay? All she is a piece of ghetto trash. Piece of scum. A piece of scum that targeted me to pull an Amber Heard before Amber Heard. She's the Amber Heard before Amber Heard. She's the Evan Rachel Wood before Evan Rachel Wood.
And I know full well, James, I know the way you work, just like when she posted a little video of herself on the beach, and she was running up the beach, and she was quite admirably, bouncing up the beach. We all saw it. We know full well that you basically probably jacked yourself.
No, I don't masturbate to men unlike you, Hat Man. There was a sizable man of an ethnicity / whatever that I really don't find attractive at all. Not to mention, she's fat. And on that beach picture, she's a fat little piggy. She's a big fat, she's a little fat little piggy, a pudgy little piggy. I don't find her attractive anymore. In fact, I haven't found her attractive for quite a while. I felt really bad for her, being that her life situation was the way that it was. Okay? That's what I felt bad about. If she's with this dude, how many times do I have to say this? If she's with this dude, I wish her the best. I don't really have any real animosity toward her. I don't, because I'm letting that go for the simple fact it's not worth my time. I have more important things to worry about in my life. Okay? And one of them is not her. Okay? I don't care about her. I care about other people. I care about myself. I don't care about her. I don't care who she's getting railed by. Okay? If she wants to entertain her time sleeping with people that are scum like her, she can do that because she's a piece of ghetto garbage. And I'm glad that she finally admitted that. I'm glad that she is living her life out as a piece of ghetto trash, like she always wanted to, when she used to listen to her rap music and all that bullshit. And then she had to pretend to be, when I met her, she had recently switched over from listening to ghetto music to pretending to like classical music and pretending to be cultured and pretending to be a white supremacist when she wasn't white and refusing to believe she wasn't white and courting white supremacists. When she met me, she was doing nothing but courting white supremacists who would make fun of her all the time because she was a piece of ghetto trash that they saw she was a piece of ghetto trash. I refused to see it, unfortunately. She had this obsession with trying to sleep with white supremacists. Now she has an obsession with trying to sleep with ghetto garbage. And that's her deal. The guy's admittedly a piece of ghetto trash. Okay, that's where he comes from. That's where she comes from. If you look at her family, I know more about her family than any of you do, which I have already proven. Her family is ghetto trash. She's ghetto trash. She just happens to have a high IQ. She's high IQ'd ghetto trash.
Which line was that? We know which line that was. We all know that you basically probably jacking yourself until your fucking dick was raw.
I have never done anything with anything that involved that young woman and anyone else in any photo. That's the truth. I don't care who she's with, and I'm going to say this one last time. If she wants to be with a piece of ghetto trash, that's her business, not mine.
And given it looks like it's been sandpapered down anyway from use, remember you did send me that little thing. Yeah.
This is him admitting that he posed as a woman to get me to send him nudes so that he could masturbate to them.
Probably were fucking jacking you for about 6 hours straight over Eliana bouncing up a beach, but you think she's fat. You think I'm fat.
She is fat. You are fat. Look at your facial structure. Look at your fat. Look at the fat hanging off your jaws, you fat slob. Look at the fact that you don't take your glasses off because of your weird crooked eyes that are, a sign of something. I'm not going to say what they're a sign of, but there's certain groups of people that may or may not have issues with holding their wrists straight that have eyes like you, buddy. And they're the same kind of people that might pose as women to get men to send them photos so that they can jerk to them.
I mean, I outweigh you. Yes, I do. But I'm more built than you as well.
You're not more built than me. You're built like an elderly woman, buddy. You're built like an elderly woman. I'm built a lot better than you, especially since I've started working out again. You don't know what I'm built like now, buddy. You're a fat slob. You're a useless piece of crap. Okay? You're prematurely graying. You crooked-eyed son of a bitch. Look, you slack-jawed son of a bitch. Can't even speak English. You're a scumbag. You're a scumbag that stalks and harasses and threatens people. That's what you do. Okay? You threatened to murder me. The police considered it an act of international terrorism. Whether it's pursued or not, that's a different story. I hope it is, but it's probably not going to be because it's just some fat, useless bastard on the internet threatening to murder somebody else on the internet. But the fact of the matter is, buddy, you're an international terrorist. From RG Land, she actually has the moral fortitude to speak. She has the moral fortitude not to speak to scum that spend their days harassing, stalking, and terrorizing women like Mary.
Yes, no, James, it's not that she has the moral fortitude not to speak. It's that she doesn't want the attention. She doesn't want her career jeopardized.
Yeah, keep telling yourself that. She has the moral fortitude not to speak to you. She's a decent person. Yeah, let's also talk about the PFA she didn't get against me that you didn't even know was called a PFA. You called it a restraining order. Why don't we talk about that? Why don't we talk about the fact that she never told me to stop? She told you to stop. If you're telling the truth about speaking to her. If you spoke to her, she told you to stop. She told you to leave her alone. And you're not leaving her alone. You're continually bringing her up. You're continually bringing her up. And you need to stop bringing her up.
Ah, okay. Let's have a look. Oh, I have a green light to share this one. So, when James was contacting a girl that he found, the backstory was that James contacted a girl. This girl posted on his video. He was going to block her, then she possibly mistakenly should have said that she was 18. That got James's interest, didn't it? Then James starts going through the social media and sending her messages, including one which he just had confirms that the same line, the one that he used in there. He finds her extremely intriguing and, I'll just say verbatim, from James, this line was included in the messages he was sending this girl once he found out she was 18. Because he doesn't want to get caught. He's not so stupid he wants to break the law.
I don't want to break the law. I'm not interested in breaking the law. You break the law. You break the law by harassing a mentally ill woman and stalking and harassing people. You broke the law by hunting down a woman. You broke the law by threatening me. Okay? And yeah, I can find more than one woman intriguing. Okay? I'm allowed to find more than one woman intriguing. And what's funny, you people keep saying I'm a pedophile. Notice you've never found proof that I'm a pedophile. The only thing you find proof of is that, as I said, I want to share time with a woman that is of age, that is 18 or over. Mind you, the age of consent in Pennsylvania is actually 16, and I've continuously said I'm not interested in a 16-year-old. I don't want to be with a 16-year-old. I want to be with a girl that's around 18 to 25 because of the maturity level. That's what I've continually said. You people fabricate this idea that I'm some kind of pedophile, when in reality, it's you people that are pedophiles. If you weren't pedophiles, your minds wouldn't be going to this. Look at the women in Adonis Paul's videos. You know, strip clubs are notorious for having underage girls work in them. And it was funny because Adonis Paul said, oh, I know they're over 18 because they're in a strip club. They're notorious for having underage women work in them. And you know what I've never done in my life except to pick friends up and pick my brother up from? I've never gone to a strip club. Why have I never gone to a strip club? Because it doesn't interest me because I'm not a fucking pervert like you people.
Extremely intriguing, and I want to spend my time with you. No, not Galena. The daughter of somebody in this very chat right now.
Now listen to that. The daughter of somebody in this chat right now. So they sent somebody in this chat, used their daughter to try to seduce me. This is the way these people view their own families. These are whole families of stalkers. Okay? Whole families of stalkers, like the people that slashed my tire, like the people that video recorded my residence that this fat fuck then put up on his channel, like the people that do what they do. This is generational stalking, generational harassment, generational vandalism of other people's property, generational things, okay? I've been threatened by somebody's daughter because of their fat pig mother, okay, harassing me, okay? And that's all it is. This is a community. This is what gang stalking is. This is a community of terrorists, an international community of terrorists, and the FBI knows about it now.
And they have guns, James. They have guns.
Now listen.
So,
they have guns. They have guns. Let's listen to that again.
and after 4 months of failed attempts, you'd think it might have sunk through. Flip-flop through your religions. You were a Satanist. You've been a Christian.
I've never been a Christian. When have I ever said I was a Christian? I have never been a Christian. My grandfather was a Christian. My grandfather was an Episcopal minister. That doesn't make me a Christian, fatty. I've never been a Christian. I never will be a Christian. It's impossible for me to be a Christian because I can't reconcile the inconsistencies of Christianity. And I don't belong to any religion. I was a Satanist. I was born into Satanism. My father was a Satanist. And I first I was a Talimite, which is Aleister Crowley's religion. And then I became a Satanist after I got bored with Thelema, because Thelema is a little nonsensical, I think. And Satanism is more philosophical. Why I got out of Satanism is Satanism became very childish. Okay? But the facts are the facts. I was a Satanist. I've never been a Christian. I've never been a Christian. Currently, I'm a scientific pantheist. I've been a scientific pantheist for well over 10 years, and I'll be a scientific pantheist for probably for the rest of my life. That's just who I am. I've never been anything. My religions are literally Thelema and Satanism, and then like a satanic Thelema, okay, and scientific pantheism. Basically, 3 religions. You dig? Thelema, Satanism, scientific pantheism. And Thelema and Satanism are so similar philosophically and everything else, it's kind of hard to even consider them in my interpretation of Thelema and Satanism to be separate. I consider Satanism to simply be a more direct form of Thelema. Okay? But the fact of the matter is, I've really only had 3 religions. How many religions have you had, fat man? Oh, that's right, you think you're the devil.
You've been that. James, you're the one who changes constantly. You fake change yourself to fit the narrative of what.
What have I changed? I'm nothing but consistent. I'm nothing but consistent. I only change what is changed when I get new information, because I'm not a moron. If I am given better information, okay, when I get information that proves me wrong, just like a certain someone from down under basically made it so I accepted the fact that white supremacy is a lie, because she provided me with information that showed that. Okay, I change when I'm given new facts, and those facts make sense, and I can incorporate those facts into a sensible worldview. That's not really changing, though, but I had already changed prior to that. Okay, it was just she had provided me through her sharing of scientific research. Much of that research actually shows how she feels about the kind of people she's with now. And she doesn't even consider people like the person she's with now to be people. But she'll deny that, even though she claimed to be a Nazi on Daywave. She'll deny that, but that's who she is, and that's what she believes, because these are facts, buddy. And she can't deny facts. She can't deny what she knows to be fact about brain size, and about the deviation of brain size between different groups of people, and the deviation of intelligence, and the differences in behavior. She can't deny that. Unfortunately, she's a piece of ghetto trash. She was born a piece of ghetto trash, she came from ghetto trash, and she'll always be ghetto trash, because that's who she is. It's just sad because she is intelligent, and she can recognize that she's ghetto trash, and I'm sure that really weighs heavily on her.
You want to try and get with. Eliana was Catholic, so boom, you decide you're going to be a hardcore Christian Catholic.
When did I ever say I was a Christian or a Catholic? I have never said I was a Christian or a Catholic. I am ardently anti-Catholic. Ardently anti-Catholic. I have continually pointed out that the Vatican and the Catholic Church is nothing but a child molesting and child pornography ring, and I have consistently stated that the Catholic Church needs to be banned in the United States. I don't judge her for being Catholic. I don't judge anyone for their religion. However, the Catholic Church is nothing but a child pornography and a child sex ring. I've said that, and I've continued to say that. I have ardently been anti-Catholic. Ardently. I've been anti-Catholic since I've been a youth. My family's anti-Catholic. It doesn't mean that I hate individual Catholics. Okay? But the fact of the matter is, the Catholic Church is essentially a child sex trafficking ring, hiding as a church.
Whatever.
There's a theory in Satanism that a Satanist cannot be made, a Satanist is born. A piece of ghetto trash cannot be made.
Where's he learned this term from, ghetto trash? Somebody call him ghetto trash in one of his comments?
No. I live around ghetto trash, and my former friend from Argentina is ghetto trash. Her significant other is ghetto trash. They were born ghetto trash, and they'll always be ghetto trash. That's what they are. Maybe you should learn what ghetto trash means, because clearly you're nothing but a spoiled brat.
That we've missed. I mean, I don't check his comments, I only check his community posts. Clearly he's learned it, kind of like how he learned the term spurge. Fucking retard. Hey James, again, 38 caliber vitamins, transcranial injection. Alright?
Again, he's encouraging me to kill myself. What a wonderful person. Isn't he a wonderful person, encouraging somebody to kill themselves?
You recommend it.
Born that way. So the only way that somebody can behave that way, that can, that they'll lead themselves down that path, that they can be led into that, is if they are naturally a piece of gutter trash.
James, you've definitely learned this phrase within the last 24 to 48 hours. Because like with everything else, you use it far too much. You just learned it. You don't know what it really means.
I just learned the term ghetto and gutter trash, and I don't know what it means. Really? Really? What is this? You need to talk to that doctor in Pygmalion, because you clearly can't speak English. You need to learn how to speak English and get off that Cockney nonsense. Get the Cockney out of your mouth.
So you're just throwing it in everywhere. You've never used this before. This is brand new. You just learned this from somebody. Fucking idiot.
Which is... I just learned the word ghetto trash. That's fucking great. But she was. Highly intelligent piece of gutter trash, but...
Well, then she's still better than you, isn't she? Even if she was gutter trash.
No, she's not better than me, because she's a worse person than me. She is a horrible person that targets people and tries to make people, basically tries to tear people down. She's a worse person than me because she goes through life tearing other people down and hurting other people. I don't. That makes her a worse person. As I've said from the beginning, you people, the reason that you people fetishize IQ, or that I think that I'm better because I'm higher IQ'd than most people, the reason that you people believe that is because that's what you believe. But the fact of the matter is, none of you are really high IQ'd. You're very low IQ'd. And a test on the internet doesn't prove what your IQ is. You need to go to a neuropsychologist.
Higher class gutter trash than you because she's traveling around the fucking world, James.
That doesn't mean she's not ghetto trash. What's her name? Merkel, the woman that married Prince Harry, does that. She's still ghetto trash. Ghetto trash is ghetto trash regardless of how much money they have. The Kardashians are ghetto trash. Doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter how much money they have, they're still ghetto trash. Ghetto trash is ghetto trash. Doesn't matter how much money you have, it's the behavior. Look at the trashy way she acts. She can travel around the world all she wants. It doesn't make her any less trashy. It doesn't make her a better person. Okay? It doesn't make her a better person. She still wants to hurt people that did nothing wrong to her. And that's what makes her a piece of ghetto trash. The fact that she was born into ghetto trash, the fact that she behaves like ghetto trash, and the fact that she chooses to ally herself with ghetto trash and with scum.
She's left Argentina. He's with her husband. I'm not sure exactly where they are at the moment. I think they're still in Canada, but they'll be coming over to relocate to the UK in the medium term.
And that's beautiful. That's beautiful, because what's funny about that, nobody hates the UK more than Eliana. Nobody does. And why does she hate the UK? Because how the UK mistreated her people. But what's funny is that all goes out the window. That all goes out the window now. Okay? So she gives up on caring about the way that the British treated her people and subjugated her people and murdered her people and basically destroyed her people and were liberated by Juan Perón. She gives up on everything that she used to believe. Everything she used to believe, she throws out the window. Why? I see a cute guy. I'm going to completely change everything about myself and become an anti-racist liberal piece of shit because I see a cute guy that I can travel the world with and act like ghetto trash with. She's no different than Candace Owens or any one of these other fake, race-baiting, phony conservatives. That's all she ever was a phony conservative, playing at being a conservative and trying to seduce white supremacists. And when the white supremacists didn't like her, she had to go to someone else because they saw that she was a piece of garbage. And they warned me she was a piece of garbage, and I should have listened.
And when they do, James, you know what's going to happen? We're going to meet up. We're going to get out with a pub.
Do you think I care who she meets up with? She could meet up with anybody. She could even meet up with it doesn't really matter who she meets up with. Plain and simple. It doesn't matter. Why doesn't it matter? Because she's of no importance to me. She is so below me. It's ridiculous. She is so inferior to me due to her behavior, due to the way she treats other people, that I don't care what happens with her. She is a horrible person. A horrible person. And for her, for people to claim, oh, she's devoutly Catholic and blah, blah, blah. No, she's not. She's a horrible person. She hurts other people. She chooses to hurt other people for her own entertainment. That's what she does. Do you think I care what she does? I'm just happy she's not in my life anymore. I'm happy she's not fucking around with me anymore. I'm happy I'm free from caring about her. I don't care what she does. So keep blabbing. You want to talk about the nurse and you want to talk about Eliana. Funny thing is, I'm not talking about these people. I only brought Eliana up because you proved that she lied. You proved that she lied with your stupid comment that she is a she-lord and that she was working me from the beginning. And you know what? It makes perfect sense because everybody was warning me, including other guys she did the same thing to.
We're going to get ourselves a few points, and then we're going to post some selfies. Hell, maybe we'll even do a short live stream, live from the pub. Hatman, Eliana, and Daniel having a drink, raising a glass to that wonky-jawed, tiny dick cock bitch in Philadelphia ghetto who's still there crying into his pillow with a dildo up his ass, beating his meat as hard as he fucking can.
Never had a dildo up my ass. I'm not you, Hatman. Stop fantasizing so hard. Never had a dildo up my ass. That's something you do. And that might be something Daniel can help you with because he looks a little
Well, crack on, Jimmy. Crack on. How big a dildo do you stick up your ass, Jimmy? I'm just curious.
As I said, I don't stick a dildo up my ass, but the fact that you're curious about it makes me think that you're very much into sticking dildos up your ass. That's what I'm assuming. Do you like to stick dildos up your ass, Fatma'am? Do you like that? I think Daniel can help you with that when you meet up with him at the pub. I think that, maybe he can help you with that when you meet up at the pub. That's all I'm going to say. So keep fantasizing about sticking dildos up your ass, Hatman. That's what you like doing. That's what you like doing. I mean, who am I to judge? As the Pope said, who am I to judge, Hatman? Stick whatever you want up your ass. That's your business, not mine.
Is it, bigger than you? I bet it is, isn't it? You strike me as more of a catcher than a pitcher.
Piece of gutter trash. Listen to this. Listen to him fantasize about shoving things up an ass. This guy's gay as hell. Fat little piggy. That,
The same line. You asked for it. You finally broke and asked for a refund and got it.
I couldn't get a refund on that ticket because of COVID. I had to use that ticket for that exact trip. What happened was the airline rescheduled, which allowed me to get my refund. But until the airline rescheduled, I couldn't do that. You would know that if you weren't a complete idiot. And the thing is, I like how everybody claims they know what was going on. I had to go to Argentina. Thank God I got my refund. And I wanted to not go. The second she said she didn't want to see me, I wanted to not go. And then Royce had to try and get the ticket off me. That was what started that. And then I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going. I paid for the ticket. I wanted to go to Argentina. I've wanted to go to Argentina before I knew who Eliana was. That's the truth. I've had other friends in Argentina. I still do have other friends in Argentina. They're not too forthcoming, but I do have other friends in Argentina. Okay? But, I have no reason to go to Argentina. Okay? That the thing was, if she was that worried, which she was a liar, as is proven in other videos, because she's so scared of me, but yet she can continually harass me and try to get reactions out of me, but she's so scared of me, right? And no, she was working this from the beginning to try and get reactions out of me for you people.
Exactly the same as I did.
This gentleman, I used a different airline, you fucking moron. Different airlines operate it differently, you idiot. Also, the United States Airlines that work through the United States operate it differently because Trump allowed them to act differently. But you don't know that because you're not an American. And thank God, because you threatened me like that, you'll never be an American. Because America is too good for imperialist scum like you that talk with a Cockney accent. Ma'am is telling me to cope more.
Yes, James, I told you to cope more because you are literally coping. Badly.
No, you're the one coping, trying to make up stories that you're speaking to people you're not speaking to, you're fantasizing about shoving a dildo up your ass, fantasizing about me masturbating about other men, trying to seduce other men, trying to seduce me by posing as a young woman. You're the one coping. You're trying to cope with your latent homosexuality, and you really need to see somebody about that. I think you're a dangerous person. I think that's what's driving your ferocious behavior, your desire to harm people. I think that's what's driving it, and I think you really need to get help. I think you need to seek help. You're also an alcoholic. I think that's what's driving your alcoholism is your homosexual, the fact that you can't come to terms with your homosexuality. You're clearly homosexual. How many heterosexual men pose as 20-year-old women to seduce men online? Not many. Not many. I don't have to cope with anything. I'm fine with who I am.
Really? And why do you keep reinventing yourself and making yourself more like me, ironically?
How am I making myself more like him? This is the thing. He's fantasizing that I'm trying to make myself more like him because he's sexually attracted to me. That's what it is. He's obsessed with me. He can't leave me alone. He won't leave me alone. He was looking for an excuse to include me in his show again, and this is his excuse. No, I'm not making myself more like you. How am I? Are you a scientific pantheist, Hatman? Do you want to meet a young lady at a fair? What are you doing? Now, maybe you're trying to make yourself more like me or more like your view of me. Maybe that's why you hunted down the nurse, allegedly, and tried to speak to her is because you think that's what I'm doing. That's not what I'm doing, but maybe that's what you think I'm doing. Is that what you think I'm doing and you're trying to make yourself more like me? Because that's what it seems like to me.
I contact the hospital. And suddenly you're trying to swap our roles around. Suddenly you're contacting the hospital, saving the nurse from stalkers.
Yes, I'm contacting the hospital because people had threatened to go to the hospital and find her. And they don't know who she is, number one. But yes, that's why I contacted the hospital. That's why I contacted the police. Is because people were threatening to go to the hospital and I didn't want her life in any danger because people that were threatening to murder me, like you, were threatening to go to the hospital, threatening to hunt this girl down, people that have threatened violence. How do I know you're not going to commit an act of violence against her? I don't. But you know what I didn't do? I've never gone to that hospital. I've never tried to speak to her against her will. The only person that's done that is you. If you spoke to her and she told you to leave her alone, why do you keep bringing her up? She never told me to leave her alone. She told you to leave her alone. Work on it, buddy. Work on it. Work on leaving her alone. The reason I contacted that hospital, the reason I informed the security staff about you and about other people is because you have threatened violence against me and you have threatened to go to that hospital and you have threatened to meet with her. She doesn't know who you are, and I'm assuming she doesn't want to know who you are. And you threatened to go to that hospital and you threatened to meet with her. And that's what happened. So I warned the security staff there that there were people threatening the nurses there, threatening to stalk the nurses, which is exactly what was going on. That's exactly what was going on. So I took it upon myself to call the police, to call the hospital staff, and to warn them that there are creepy sons of bitches. And I gave them photographs of the ones that I had photographs of, including you. So they knew who may or may not show up to that hospital. Now, unfortunately, there's more local people, and we all know the names or the fake names of those local people that are probably the ones that will show up. and probably are the ones that are stalking her. But I was concerned not only about her safety, but about every individual woman's safety at that hospital. Because you perverts that have threatened violence against me, have threatened to show up to that hospital and have threatened to hunt down these nurses. That is why I informed the security staff. You have threatened violence against me, and you harass and intimidate and threaten another woman, Mary. You harass, threaten, and intimidate another woman, Letitia. How do I know that you're not going to threaten or even harm another woman if you're in their vicinity? I don't know that. That's why I communicated with the police about you people going to that hospital. That's why I communicated with the hospital staff. That's why I let them see that you people are threatening to kill me. That's why I let them see that you're threatening to go to that hospital. That's why I showed them the screenshots of people in my comments section threatening to hunt this woman down. Okay, that's why I did that. Because she needed somebody to protect her. I'm not a threat to her. And she knows I'm not a threat to her. How do I know she knows I'm not a threat to her? She never tried to do anything against me legally. But she did tell, if you're telling the truth that you spoke to her, she told you to leave her the hell alone. Keep that in mind. Never told me to leave her alone. Not once did she tell me to leave her alone. Okay? Bottom line.
It's like, literally, James, I did that 2 months before you even thought of that.
Yeah, you did that 2 months before I even thought of that because I never contacted the hospital because I never wanted to. I didn't think it was my place to contact the hospital about her. Why would I do that? Why would anyone contact a hospital about that woman unless they were trying to harass and intimidate her? The only reason I did that was because you people who have threatened to kill me on a number of occasions threatened to hunt her down. And I was honestly concerned about her safety. When people that threaten to kill someone threaten to show up at a woman's place of work, and these are the same people that threaten another woman online, that leads someone like me to be concerned about that woman's safety. I've never gone to that woman's place of work to find her. I've never gone to that woman's place of work to hunt her down. And that's exactly what you people were threatening to do. And that's exactly what the police know. And that's exactly what the hospital staff know. You people were threatening to hunt that woman down. You people threaten Mary. You people threaten Letitia. You people threaten women. I don't threaten women. I'm not a danger to that woman. You people are. Bottom line.
Hey, come on, man. Stop trying to pretend that you're me.
How am I pretending I'm you, dude? How am I pretending I'm you? Number one, I don't have this cheesy goth look. I don't wear sunglasses to cover up my crooked eyes because I don't have crooked eyes. And I don't have a facial structure that I have to cover up with a prematurely graying beard. I don't wear a hat and sunglasses inside because I'm not that ridiculous that I have to cover up my features because I'm so worried I look so goddamned ugly. Okay?
I cope just fine. I mean, I eat, I drink, I marry.
You eat and you drink too much, and you're merry because you're psychotic.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be doing what you're doing.
No, I just do it because I'm bored. Bored, it fills a gap.
Think about that. This gentleman's bored, so he hunts down women and harasses other people. This is what he does because he's bored. He hunts down women online and harasses them and threatens them, like he did to Mary. That's what he does when he's bored. Or he poses as a young woman to seduce men so that men can send him nudes of themselves that he can then masturbate to. This is what he does when he's bored. This is the guy that supposedly has a 9-to-5 job every day and makes great money, but this is what he does for money. Give me a goddamn break. This guy is the most pathetic loser. Why would I pretend to be him? Why would I pretend to be him? He's hideously ugly. He's a pathetic loser. He entertains himself not even with pornography, but with goofy nonsense of women slapping other women's behinds. He's a loser. Everything about this guy screams loser. He pretends that he has supernatural powers. He pretends that he's the devil. He's Mr. Devil Man. He pretends he's exposing people that are the people that he is. He is a stalker. He's the one threatening people. He's the one trying to harm people. He's a pathetic loser that lives in a fantasy world. Why would anybody pretend to be this guy?
But you know what, James? It means I don't have to sit and basically microwave oats and lentils and then slather it with ketchup to make it remotely palatable.
I have never put ketchup on lentils. And by the way, you don't know what's palatable and what's not palatable because you live on a junk food diet, which is why you have the physique that you have, flabby. That's why you look like you look. A lack of exercise, too much alcohol, too much sugar, too much aggressive flavors. You are a loser. You will always be a loser. Keep that in mind, Fatma'am. You will always be a loser. The only contact you will have with attractive women are the ones that you hunt down like a predator. And that's the only, because your wife, fat and ugly. Fat, bloated, and ugly. Looked like a fat puffer fish. And that was before she croaked.
I mean, I can have whatever I want right now. Actually, I've got nothing immediately to hand, so... Right at McDonald's earlier. You know, perfect hangover food.
Oh, I'm eating McDonald's because, blah, blah, blah. I hate Americans, but I'm going to eat the worst food because I like being a fat slob.
It worked. Kind of.
Now look, this is Fatma'am again harassing a
Perfect hangover food. He's constantly drunk. Is he ever not hungover? Oh, yeah, I guess when he's drinking, he's not hungover.
mentally ill woman named Mary.
I just literally told her to shut up. That's not harassment. It's telling her to shut up.
You continually harass her, and as do your followers in her comments section, trying to drive her to suicide, just like you try to drive me to suicide, just like you've tried to drive me to suicide a number of times throughout the length of this show already.
How's that harassment?
Fatma'am again harassing Mary.
Yes, James.
Because you keep bringing her up after she told you not to. Just like you keep bringing up that nurse, assuming she told you to leave her alone, assuming you talked to her, you keep bringing her up after she told you, leave her alone. And you keep bringing her up.
Saying someone shut up is harassment.
Fatma'am again harassing Mary.
Why, it's a statement. It's not her fault. She lies.
Fatma'am again.
No, the people that lie are Royce, Adonis, and you. And I've proven that. And she's proven that. You're all liars. You've all tried to convince the public that she's committed crimes that she's never committed. You try to convince the public to hate her just like you try to convince the public to hate me. It doesn't work. Now, the one thing that you do have going for you with Letitia is not a very likable person. But Letitia is a mentally ill woman that you harass, a mentally ill pregnant woman. Okay? So these are the people you harass. You harass mentally ill women, and you continually harass them. And, you try to get them to harm themselves. You were harassing Letitia, a pregnant woman, after a suicide attempt. I don't know if you did that, but your colleagues have done that, if I can call them colleagues. Your fellow stalkers were harassing her after a suicide attempt. Constantly bringing up these women after they tell you to stop, that's harassment. That's harassment. Okay? The difference is, and you're going to go, what about Eliana? Well, Eliana kept working to get reactions out of me. These women are continually telling you to stop. Leave them alone. So leave them alone. Why won't you leave them alone? Because you're a stalker. That's why. You won't stop stalking them. And then you're trying to say to the public that I'm the stalker or that they're stalking you. That's the thing now, is that Mary is supposedly stalking Adonis Paul. No, she's not. Adonis Paul fabricated false claims about her that have caused the public to threaten her, that have caused the public to contact her therapist and her providers, and caused her to lose access to therapy and caused her to lose access to her medication, which she believes that she needs to stay stable. And you people continually drive her to a more and more unstable point in her life and try to get her to harm herself. Okay, these are the kind of people that you people are. And then you're trying to say, I'm the stalker. I'm the bad person. No, you're all terrible people. Okay? That's what you are.
Why didn't you show the comment?
And harassing Mary. Fatma'am attempting to harass me, but I really don't care.
But you do care, James, because you put out a 12.5-minute video. But clearly you do care. I'm just doing this because I've got nothing to do tonight.
He's just harassing people because he has nothing to do tonight. He never has anything to do. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't have anything to do. He claims he has children. Why isn't he spending time with his children? Is he allowed to spend time with his children? Did the government take away that ability? I don't know. Why isn't he spending time with his children? If he claims to have children, I don't think he does. I think he made it up. I don't think he does. Because he pulled the same thing. If you threaten my children, I never threatened the guy's children. I don't even think the guy has children. It's exactly like J.J. Stoner did. If you come over my house, I'll beat you to death with a baseball bat, is what he told me. Well, you know what? I don't know where the guy lives. I have no intention of going over his house. I never said I was going over his house. I don't care about the guy. But this is what they do. They imply that you're threatening them. They're like the great Cornholio. They go, are you threatening me? Are you threatening me? No, I'm not threatening you people. You're the ones that are, saying that people are threatening you so you can have a weak justification to threaten them. That's what you do.
And frankly, I kind of do like to stream twice a weekend now. It gives me something to do, and the channel's growing. It's great. I'm loving it. I'm having a wonderful time, especially now. I'm going a little bit more unleashed. It's good fun. It's good stress relief, and
yeah, I guess now that you don't have your wife in your life, you have more time to spend masturbating to random men, probably pursuing your homosexuality. That's probably what you're doing now. I forgot, now that you don't have a wife in your life, you have more free time and you can be more unleashed because nobody's there to impede your homosexual escapades, is there?
And if you hadn't spurred, I wouldn't be here because I was listening to Moonbear earlier and I was quite content that was it. I was going to finish up for the night and go to bed. Now I'm here and I'm going to probably keep going until AP goes live in a couple of hours. So we're going to have a nice continuous roasting of the tards. It's going to be like a marathon of tard roastery.
Now, this is the thing. He's claiming to be a great protector of women, right? He's a protector of women, but yet, he's the one harassing these women, along with Adonis Paul. He's the one threatening women, along with Adonis Paul. He's the one threatening me. He's threatened to murder me. He's encouraged me to commit suicide. He's encouraged other people to commit suicide. This is who he is. This is who he is. And he's the one that allegedly, if he's telling the truth, he's the one that hunted down a nurse, tried to force her to speak to him, and she said no. And then he's claiming that she's so afraid of me, she's never went for a PFA against me. She's never filed any type of legal action against me. She's never done anything to me because she's not going to do anything to me because she knows I'm not a threat to her. You people very much are probably a threat to her. And you need to stop. You need to stop. But you're not going to because you don't know what stop is. As this idiot stated, this woman is not Eliana. This woman is a decent, normal, healthy-minded person. And you need to stop harassing her. And you need to stop bringing her up. But you're not going to. You're going to continue it and continue it and continue it. You threaten to show up to her work. And these are, like I said, you are the same people that threaten to hurt me, threaten to kill me. You threaten to hurt other people, women, and you expect me to let that go? No. And that's all for this video. I don't have time for this. What am I, like an hour in on this piece of shit?